Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fire and Flair podcast. I'm so excited to be diving in, tuning into, hosting another episode. I'm your host, Adriana Egan. And so this episode is all about the wild west of dating apps. So I've actually been really excited to record this episode and talk about it just because I feel like it's going to be relatable. Just so many people out there, and I'm going to be sharing my tidbits of the dating apps. So, yeah, I'm excited to get to it. That being said, I'm big on like energy. Like when I record, I want to make sure that like the vibes are right and I'm showing up as my best, especially, depending what I'm talking about. So before this, I was kind of like in a weird, like it didn't feel right to be recording. I like can't explain it. And I was like, all right, we have to get the vibes right, especially for this episode because there's going to be like so many funny stories and things, and like I need to be really engaged. So I was like, let me get a McDonald's Diet Coke. So for those of you that like, I'm a Diet Coke girly, so gotta switch it around. ASMR. I don't know why, like when I need to like get to work on something, be productive, or like back in the day when I was studying in school, it was like, what do I need right now in order for me to just get the vibes right and do what I need to do? Not that this feels like work. I'm just weird about energy. I needed the energy and the vibes to be good. So I like lit a candle that I just got. It's a spiritual candle. It was blessed. I got my McDonald's Diet Coke. I had a snack before and was just like, okay, this feels better. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's little acts of self-love that helped with the energy, but here I am. So, very excited to get into this episode. I have such a love-hate relationship with the dating apps as I do social media. So, that being said, I've taken a bit of a hiatus from the apps. Actually, I haven't been on them in 2 years, although that might be changing soon because I was so determined to like challenge myself to meet people outside the apps, even though they're really like so integrated into our dating culture now. But the reason that I took such a long break is because my past experiences with them haven't necessarily been the best. So I felt like maybe these just aren't for me. I know a lot of other people found success, which interestingly enough, as I'm considering going back on them, I keep meeting people who like they met their significant other on the apps, they're getting married, like all these success stories. And I'm like, I know that they work. I know that they help us expand our network in ways we may not have been able to, but they're also very problematic. They're such a mixed bag, the Wild West. Sometimes you really never know what you're getting when you go on a date. So without further ado, we will dive into the reality of dating apps, the highs, the lows, why they often feel like a total gamble. Is it just bad luck, or are these apps setting us up for failure? And more importantly, how do we keep our self-worth intact when dating leaves us feeling more frustrated than hopeful? Tune in for some relatable laughs, lessons learned, and maybe even a little validation if you've ever found yourself wondering what the actual fuck is going on. Yeah, I say that a lot. What the actual fuck? So my very first stint with dating apps, interestingly enough, was 2020. So people had been using them years before that, like I'm giving away my age here, but they really took off when I was in college. So like 2014, 2015, they were all the rage. And I was like, what is this like weird app thing? Like I was in a relationship at the time, so I just didn't really like pay much attention to it. Although I like had seen some of my friends and people my age start using them, I was just like, yeah, I'm in a relationship, I'm good. Was hoping that I would never have to actually use them, but life has a funny way of working out. So actually, the very first time I used them was in March of 2020, right before everything shut down, interestingly enough. So I just was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, this seems weird. I would like go on it and then I would delete it right away because I just am like, this feels weird to me, like to be dating people like this. So I did end up going on one date with someone. It actually went well. I was like the person I met up with, there was chemistry, maybe it was beginner's luck, but my very first day, I do remember like I'm like, oh, this okay, this isn't that bad. Like I met like a really cool person, we were vibing. There was chemistry that fizzled quickly just because of COVID and the world shutting down. It wasn't meant to be. But um, that being said, things definitely changed after that. So then, given with what I was going through at the time and just having the world be what it was, I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to date right now. So then I don't think I got back on the apps until, oh gosh, probably like a good almost a year and a half later. Because I just felt like, what was the point? Like it would have been, there was like, it was so hard to date. Like you would have had to go to someone's house or do Zoom, nothing was open. Or it's like, if you go somewhere, you would have to like put a mask on. I'm just like, absolutely not. I actually have an episode that I recorded back in 2021 about modern dating, and I talk about the apps then. Things have still evolved a little bit, even 4 years later. But if you're interested in my experience at the time, and then talking with someone who was also like heavily using apps, and she actually used them during COVID, it's super interesting. I just couldn't be bothered with all that. Like, I had enough opinions about COVID at the time. I was not about to throw dating in the mix because I wouldn't have been my best self. But, like, seriously, imagine like trying to find a restaurant that's actually open and serving people, and then you show up and you have to like wear a mask, and then it's like, how do you even recognize who you're meeting at first? Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I felt like it was like summer of 21. Like, it felt like the world was opening back up again and it wasn't like as weird. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll give this another try. Well, I was living in the suburbs at the time. And so I feel like location can make a difference too in terms of like the network around you. So I had 3 dates and they were all right. Like one of them, I felt like I was catfished a little bit. Oh, I'm parched. I need to get a drink of my Diet Coke. Actually, I want to pause really quick. And I mentioned this in my last episode. If you have like a great story or something that you would want me to share or talk about or write in anonymously, like if you yourself have gone through so many bad dating app dates, or you have like a wild story about meeting up with someone from an app, like send it my way because I would love to share funny stories, which I actually do have some with people I know, like their experience with apps. I'm telling you, it's just like it's crazy to me how like I'll meet people who like share the same sentiment, and they just have like the worst experiences or the weirdest experiences, but then other people are literally meeting like their soulmate or the love of their life. Like it's crazy. But yeah, if you want me to have like a follow-up episode on other people's dating fails or their experiences with the apps, just any entertaining wild story, feel free, bring it my way. So, anyways, I'm recircling back to the apps in 2021. And like the first date I had, I just felt like I was catfished a little bit. Like the pictures were not up to date because when I saw him in person, I was like, you look much different. Like you look so much younger in the photos that you had online. Have facial hair. You're a grown man now. Also showed up in like sweatpants, and I was just like, yeah, no, this is weird. I had another date after, one of the most awkward dates I had. So we met at a restaurant, and it was like a Tuesday night, so it wasn't even busy, and they had like a really nice outdoor patio with a fireplace, so I asked for patio seating. Now, for dates, I usually just start with drinks. Sometimes, if the date's progressing nicely, you may get food. Like, I don't know, right? I don't know what the vibe is. I just wanted to seat on the patio. Didn't think it was a problem. So go out there. He meets me, we start talking. I could tell he's like very nervous. And then one of the wait staff comes over and basically says, like, are you guys getting food? And he kind of like shut it down really quick and was like, no, I think we're just getting drinks. And she's like, okay, because normally this patio is reserved for people that are dining. Bro, it's like literally a Tuesday night and you're not busy. Like, relax. So then the manager comes over and basically says the same thing. He's like, yeah, just so you guys know, he's like, you can stay here now, but like in the future, if you're gonna get a seat on the patio, it's really for people ordering food. And I'm just like, this is so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't even want to stay here now and give you my business. I don't like even know the guy that I'm with. Like it just, ugh, weird vibes. So we close out, go to the bar to appease them. And I'm just like trying to make the best of it at that point. And I honestly want to say that this person was potentially on the spectrum. I don't really know. Like they seemed like they had like Asperger's or they were kind of socially awkward and like I felt bad. I could also tell by the way that they messaged beforehand that it was like definitely different. So that's fine. Like everyone deserves love. I'm not like saying anything negative. It was merely my observation. So, anyways, that was that date. Uh, I had one after that. I think we went on like two. It was okay. Like sometimes it just fizzles out, right? Like not every date is going to be like the best date ever, but I just felt like trying to meet people in the suburbs at that time was like just not happening for me. And so I'm like, what the heck? Like I met someone that was like normal the first time, like what's going on? So I ended up meeting a guy that same summer, not through the app, but through, I was like at a bar and like we exchanged numbers, went on a date, and he like again showed up in sweats. Like I don't know, we had one previously, but I just was like, this is weird. Like I can't do this. Like I don't know, maybe my expectations just weren't aligned at the time, but I just was having no luck. And so I was like, yeah, I think I just need to get off of them at this point because it makes you like end up feeling worse, like especially when it's back to back to back and you have a string of dates and you're like, I just don't understand. Like, why do I keep like having these weird experiences? So at that point, I was done. Usually I give myself like a month and then I'm like, I'm maxed out. I can't do anymore. It was a bit of a rough time. Just like I think living in the suburbs with my dad did not help. Things were still weird with COVID. Like things would be open, but then they'd be closed. But like, yeah, I don't know. It was just very awkward. The selection in the suburbs is like not it. Like, I don't know how people date in the suburbs. Like, I don't know. I'm just a city person, but like I do feel like that makes a difference. So like I know that people can meet others in the apps through the apps in the suburbs. I just feel like I had the worst experience. So, anyways, that was that. And then I got off of them for quite a while because I needed to focus on like finding a new job. At that point, I was really like wanting to move. So I had like so many other things going on. I was like, I don't care about dating. I don't want to be on the apps. So I took another long break for, let's see, that was summer of 21. So over 6 months, like I'd say a good 8 months, I like was off of them, did not even think about dating, didn't care, put it on a shelf. I had so much on my plate. I started a new job, I moved to the city, everything was so back to back to back. So then once I finally was a little like established after moving downtown, which was April of 22, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to like put my feelers back out there, give them another chance. Like I can't stay cooped up all the time. So my God. I feel like this is going to end up needing to be like two parts because I'm like, there's no way that I can get through all my stories in one episode, especially if I'm kind of trying to keep them around that 30-minute mark. So this will likely be a part one and part two, but it's worth it. Okay, so I'm in the city now. My network should widen because I'm in like a big city, right? So I go back on them and I also like don't like to overwhelm myself and be going on like multiple dates in a week. Like I've done it before, but it gets like overwhelming and tiring and you're trying to keep track of like all these conversations and people that you're messaging. I think that's also why I struggle a little bit with using them is because they feel just like very overwhelming. Especially right when you get on them and you get like this influx of like messages and then this person wants to talk through the app, but this person wants to exchange numbers and text, and but then this person wants to meet up. Like it just becomes overwhelming. Like that's the only word I can describe it as. So I was trying to not overwhelm myself. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of like focus on one or two people. So there was one person where we were like talking and like they wanted to set up a date pretty shortly after. So I'm all about like I like when a guy takes initiative and they're not like trying to be a pen pal or like dick around. So we decided to meet up. Date goes well. There was still like a lot about dating that I didn't know at this time because I've read so many books, listened to podcasts, which has been really helpful. And so yeah, there were just some missing gaps and things that I just didn't know at the time. Like you don't know what you don't know. So I could see where I made a couple, I don't want to say mistakes, but like things that it's probably better to not do. So, anyways, we were talking for like a month. It's casual. I'm not necessarily looking for anything serious. They also just moved to the city. So we're hanging out here and there, texting here and there. And so there's one night where I'm like out with a friend. We're just having drinks, casual. She's thinking about meeting up with someone that she wants to talk to. I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. I'm like, let me text this guy, see if he wants to like meet up with us. So I texted him. He's like, oh, I'm meeting up with a friend tonight. I can't. Okay, cool, no problem. So we end up at this bar. We're order drinks, having a great time. Who do I see walk in an hour later? An hour after he said that he was with a friend and he couldn't hang out. I see the guy that I'm talking to with another girl. Like, what are the odds? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't make these things up. It's just too coincidental. So I walk up to him and tap him and just like, hey, nice to see you, because I wanted him to know, like, I see you and I'm not going to feel some type of way. Well, like, I did, but I didn't show it to him. And he just like looked like a deer in headlights and was like, oh, hey, and like quickly walked away from me. And I just was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave this bar. Like I can't believe this just happened. This is insane. Like God was literally telling me in that moment, like, you need to like stop talking to him immediately. Like this can no longer be. Like I'm gonna show you exactly why, whatever. So I don't know. I mean, just imagine like that situation, like you're because at this point, like I said, even though it was casual, even though he could have been talking to other people, that's fine. I'm very like until there's a conversation about exclusivity, people are free to date whoever they want. However, how awkward that I'm reaching out to you. Like there was no communication on his end that he was talking to other people either. Like he was making it seem like he didn't. So regardless, this that needed to happen for a reason because it showed his true colors and that I was no longer meant to talk to him. And then afterwards, it was so odd because he texted me, like, why did you push me? And I'm like, you're literally gaslighting me right now. I tapped you on the shoulder. I never pushed you. Like, are you saying this to get a reaction out of me? I don't even remember I don't even think I responded because I'm like, how dare you even say that to me? Um, so we never talked again, but I just was like, could not believe that that happened. I was like, okay, cool, awesome. So then shortly after that, I met someone out. It was just at a bar, so not through an app. So some of this is like, it's mainly around apps, but like I still have really off experiences even not meeting people on the app. So I guess it's like kind of both. Like you're not safe either way. Anyways, so it's the summer of 22. I meet this guy out, exchange numbers. He ends up texting me like the following weekend. He's like, oh, I'm out in your neighborhood. Like, let's meet up for drinks. Sure. Walk over to go meet up with him. So as soon as I see him, he told me he was with a friend, which he was. He was with a guy friend that he'd been hanging out there all day. So I come up, the vibe's immediately weird because he's with his guy friend, but he's with three other girls. And then he was like weirdly trying to pretend that like he already knew them and that they just happened to be downtown. Like I don't know. Like my gut instinct was like flashing. Like this is weird. I don't know what's going on. The vibe is off. So, anyways, and like the girls were weird too because they were like in on it. Like they were trying to act like they also knew him. And so it was just super weird. They were not, one of them was definitely not a girl's girl. I'll say that. So I like order a drink and I'm sitting there just like trying to like figure out like what's happening. I feel so uncomfortable. Come to find out, I ended up going over to one of the girls and I'm like, can you just like tell me like what's going on right now? It's really weird. I said, I only met him briefly one other time and we decided to meet up for drinks. And she goes, oh, well, we just met him today. She's like, he's been hitting on me and my friends all day. She's like, we're here to like celebrate us being engaged or something. She's like, yeah, he's literally been buying us drinks and flirting with us. And I was like, okay, thank you. Like, good to know. Like, you literally are taking me to meet up with you, but you have these random girls there that you just met that you've been hitting on and flirting with and buying drinks, but then you expect me to like come along and like play along with it as if I'm not gonna pick up on that and know. Like, who are you? Like the audacity, like that's fucking weird. So I told him, I was like, listen, I'm not feeling well. I need to go home. I can't drink. So I just like dipped out of there immediately, blocked his number. He tried calling me when I left, and I was like, yeah, no, this was absolutely the fuck not. So there's that. And this is all happening like this happened like back to back. So at this point, I was just like, I'm done. I'm done. Like I am done. I'm taking a break. I can't do this. This is exhausting. Like I just seem to be having like the worst luck possible. And then even like before that, like a couple months before I was at my cousin's wedding, again, I had mentioned this in one of my previous podcast episodes. I just try not to like repeat myself too much, but I was like making out with a groomsman. He ended up deciding that it would be a good idea to like slap me in the face, and like he thought that I would like that, like I would like roughhousing, and it just I don't know, like people are so weird to me. I'm like, why does this keep happening? Like this is like not okay. I just was so over it. I'm like, I can't do this. So I ended up just like putting dating on a shelf for like quite a while after that. I go through my phases. I'm like, I just like shut down. I can't do it, especially after a lot of like bad experiences. So that was summer of 22. So I took almost a good year off from the apps. Like I would like meet people in person here and there, like entertain some things, but I just like really like could not even get myself to like want to go on apps or talk to anyone. I made sure though that before I got on them again that I kind of like did some work on myself and address things so that I could be my best self because like I think that's important too. And oftentimes like when we're on apps or we're dating, like we're not always our best self. So I think it's good to take breaks and really check in and like, you know, deal with some things because you also don't want to be dating from a place of like resentment, right? Like, I hate men. Like, they're going to pick up on that energy. It goes both ways. Like, men who would be like, oh, I think women are annoying. I hate them. Then it's like, that's going to be a turn off. So, speaking of that, before I dive into like kind of the next segment, there's this term that I came across recently, and it probably has been around for a long time, but like I didn't even really know. And it's called misinjury. And so I actually learned about it from social media, and it's like basically means like a woman that like hates men or like is not fond of them. And I don't think it's right to hate either gender. Like, you should never be prejudiced about anyone. But it's interesting to me because I do feel like a lot of women, when they're single, they go through this like weird misinjury phase. And I've seen it with some people I know where they're just like, I hate men. I want nothing to do with them. Men are trash. That's like a big one I hear and see a lot is like, men are trash. Men are trash. Uh, like you can't have that mindset forever though. Like it's okay to take breaks and like be annoyed like I was, but I'm not gonna sit there and like continue to say that I hate men because that's not even true, right? Like you can say that you hate men, but you still desire love at the end of the day. So anyways, I just feel like that's like really big now. I think unfortunately bad experiences with apps make women feel that way. So I would say like I didn't necessarily go through like a man hating phase. Was I like fond of dating and guys at the time? Not that much, but that's why I took a break. Like I wasn't going to continue to be on apps and like project that and say, "Oh, well, I hate men," and like yada yada yada. So Anyways, just some food for thought for those of you that maybe have gone through similar struggles or are currently experiencing the same things that I've talked about. So, that being said, I took a break, worked on some things internally that I needed to address, which was really, really helpful, actually. That's where I kind of started reading like dating books and like listening to podcasts and just trying to figure out like dating as an adult because it's so hard. And it was like, it was so loaded for me too, just like with what I had gone through with Tim and, you know, grieving a long-term relationship on top of a person. And then it's like you throw COVID and apps into the mix. And then I'm in a big new city that I've never lived in the city before. I had never dated as an adult. Like it was a lot all at one time. And it was definitely like an interesting journey. Like it wasn't easy. So, very loaded and had some interesting experiences with apps, which they get more interesting. So, I think that I will break this up into part two, just because I don't want everything to get all lost and muddled into like one episode. So, yeah, I think I'm going to break it up into two. So, stay tuned. But I hope that even for people like listening now to what I've been through, like it's like this stuff happens to everyone. Like I hear it from so many people. Oh, that reminds me, before I get start the part two. So, someone I know met someone off an app. They had a date. He ended up spending the night and she woke up in the middle of the night and he shit in her bed. Yeah, like actually just woke up to that. Like I just could not imagine. I could not imagine if I ever did that in someone's bed, I would pass away. I wouldn't be here right now. Like I would be in the ground, passed away. Like how do you recover from that? Like that's just insane. And she's like, I'm so traumatized after that. Like I don't think I can ever use the apps again. Luckily she was really understanding and nice about it, and he like bought her new sheets and like did what he had to do, but talk about awkward. Like, and I thought some things that I experienced were bad, and I'm just like, oh my God. So it's like whenever you think you have it bad, someone probably has a worse story. So I just thought that would be like kind of funny to share is like someone shitting in your bed. Yeah, grown man. But this went by so fast too. I'm like, how are we almost at like 30 minutes? That's why I said like there's no way I'm gonna get everything out. So anyways, hope this gave you some laughs and some entertainment. Like I said, I'd love to hear about some of your experiences. If anyone is willing to share, wants to share, like I said, I can do like a follow-up episode. If people write into me or email like with their stories, I can put it out there. We can all become like a community of some sort and just be there for each other through this tumultuous journey of dating as an adult. Like I said too, if like you listen back to my one of my past episodes, it's called Modern Dating or Dating in 2021. But it at the time it was about modern dating because I was questioning like why are things so much harder? Why are they different? Like why can't we bring back some of those like traditional things that used to exist and like the amount of effort that one would have to put into like dating someone, especially before technology. So I think I'll touch on that again a little bit more in my part two follow up. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this first half of hearing about my epic dating fails, my own experiences with the apps, and stay tuned for more laughs, more interesting stories, and things that you can probably relate to. So, that being said, thank you again for listening. As always, it means the world. So, I'm sending all the positive vibes and love to you. Bye, guys.